Hey everyone, and welcome to the Complete Personal Training Podcast. It's been a while between episodes. We are back, and what we're going to do is talk in themes each month, just to kind of really help you guys get the most out of it. So for month one, we're really going to focus on the reality check of what running a PT business is and how hard it can actually be, because most people don't really understand how hard it is to actually be a PT, and why most PTs never make it. Now, we have a pretty extraordinary failure rate in this industry. We're looking at like an 80 to 85% in the first 6 months. So it's incredibly high. And a lot of people go into this career thinking it's going to be super easy and they're going to get clients just knocking down their door to come see them, and it's anything but the truth, really. So why most trainers quit in the first decade? And the core kind of concept that I want to talk about here is that it's not a lack of passion, okay? It's a lack of a couple of different things. And I want to go through that, how we can actually help you do these things. Now, the reasons that most people fail is because they don't care about fitness. In fact, I actually don't think passion is a prerequisite for achieving success in anything. It's generally like three things. Number one, skill. Number two, structure. And number three, support. Okay? So what we kind of need to understand when we start with PT is we have a very high attrition curve, and most people don't actually understand the job. And this is something that took me a long time to wrap my head around as well. I was lucky enough to be perseverant or stubborn enough not to quit at any point. So this is why I got kind of through it. Now, with the job of being a PT, we all go into it and do our certs thinking it's about exercise. And it's not. It's actually nothing about exercise at all. It's about marketing, sales, and getting people to become successful. They're the main things that we actually do for people. They're the main things to sell. The exercise part is simply a vessel to get there. It is simply a vessel that they do to get there. And that's something that a lot of people can't wrap their heads around. The reason why I say this is because most of our clients aren't going to be as passionate about exercise and training as we are. What a shock. They haven't chosen it as their career. They just know that they need to train to basically not look like crap and get in shape. So we need to remember that our main things that we need to do and we need to become good at are marketing ourselves as a solution to the problem that someone has. We need to be good at selling the client on the benefit that hiring our services will have for them that solves their problem. So marketing and sales are just two ends of a continuum. And then we need to be able to get people to repeatedly come back into the gym and do the thing. Okay, and we need to provide accountability for that. Now, that's what actually leads to success in the personal training industry for the vast majority of personal trainers. The caveat to that is if you are training people who are super passionate about it, then the job is to really, nail periodization, nail program design, nail nutrition coaching, all that type of stuff, all the technical stuff that we all know and love. But reality, that's what it actually is, okay? And so the job is a very different thing to what we actually believe it to be when we start out. And every single business is actually like that. It's not what we think it is. So for example, I work with cleaning businesses in marketing, and cleaning business, we think it's all about the cleaning. No, it's simply talent acquisition. The job of the cleaning business is to get enough cleaners to do the work, because the work is there. So every single business has this different thing. In personal training, it's marketing, sales, and accountability. They're the key things that we have to sell to people. So the first thing we need to wrap our head around is lack of skill, okay? The thing with PT, particularly in Australia, is that your qualification time frame is incredibly short, okay? You can get qualified in, like six to 8 weeks now, okay? Now, it is highly unlikely that you can develop an adequate skill set for anything within 8 weeks, particularly the whole idea of marketing, sales, technical excellence, training people and being able to communicate with people, and all the other multitude of skills a person can be successful. But generally it's going to be like a skill. Now the good thing is, the more reps you do of anything, the better that you are going to get. The more times that you train a client, the more sales consults you get, the more marketing messages you put out there, the more time you try and follow people down to come in, you will generally get better over time. But generally, it's like a skill, okay? And this is a really good thing. It's a really good frame to put yourself in, because it kind of humbles yourself just a little bit to what needs to happen. And if we go into it thinking that we are deficient in a lot of skills, we can then simply identify what those skills are and then solve for those skills. We can get better over time. There are courses, there are videos, there is so much information out there for us to improve our skills. There is really no excuse. And realistically, we only need 20 hours of dedicated practice at these skills to become better than most personal trainers. So we need to start looking at our skills in selling, our skills in communication, and our skills in customer engagement, and then our skills in coaching. And just by doing those 4 things alone, improving those skills, so 80 hours of actual real hard work and real hard study, you'll become better than 95% of other trainers. I absolutely guarantee it. Now the next one is structure, okay? The lack of structure, that basically, what it does is it basically exposes people. The challenge that we have when we go to PT is we're basically self-employed. We don't own a business yet. We're self-employed. 2 different things, 2 different concepts we won't go into. But we're basically self-employed and we have no one to rely on to tell us what to do. So we have very little structure. Now, name another business that actually succeeds with having that structure. Every time I ask that question, no one has an answer for it. Every business has to have a structure that eventually moves towards to actually win. And if it doesn't, then that's a major problem, okay? So we certainly need to do that, okay? So we need to have some form of structure in our business. Very, very important, okay? In our 0 to 10K coaching program, we actually teach structure for trainers. We teach what you need to do every single day to deliver, and a lot of people get really put off by that. And the reason is, I became self-employed to become, have flexibility. Yes, you can have flexibility. You just choose simply when you implement those structures throughout the course of the day. And the reality check is, for running a business, that they need structure, and if you just don't do what you feel like every day, it's highly unlikely you get paid. I had a consultation with a coach a long time ago who basically didn't want to do anything in the structure of actually running a business. And I simply said then, do you really think it's fair that you're expecting reality to walk to what you want it to be, just so you can simply be successful by doing whatever you want whenever you want? Do you think that's fair to everyone else, and do you think that's a realistic point of view to have? And he got very upset with me about that, saying I wasn't respecting a whole bunch of different things. And I was like, look, it's not about respecting, it's about reality. And the fact is, like, if you want to be a PT, you will have to train people between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m. and you'll have to train from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. and you'll be probably not that busy in the beginning of the day, and in the middle of the day, And if you want to get clients online, you're probably going to have to become good at digital marketing, and you're going to have to do sales calls, okay? And you're going to have to sell people. Unfortunately, that's a reality of PT, and if you don't want that, if you think the world's going to bend to suit you, then you're going to be in a pretty shitty situation in about 6 to 8 weeks. And sure enough, he didn't change, and he got into a shitty situation, and it didn't work out because he tried to expect the world to bend to his view of reality rather than vice versa. Okay, so a lack of structure can screw you up. Now, support, the last one. If you don't have support in your career, the reason my jobs work really well for a lot of people is there's support. There's like mentoring programs, or there's a manager that you work with, or other employees that you get there. There's very little support. And unfortunately, the vast majority of PT managers in commercial gyms aren't equipped with the time or the skill sets to provide support. So that's what we try and offer through Ascend Education, like bi-weekly and daily calls for PTs to actually figure out what they need to do for their structure, to identify where their skill sets are deficient, and to actually solve for it. And then in our free course, 0 to 10K Trainer, to solve for the lack of skills, and actually teach the skills that you need to become as good as you can to actually become successful as a personal trainer. So support is highly underrated. The vast majority of trainers I've seen actually do well have employed support the whole time. And I'll be totally honest with you, I didn't have support for the business side of things. I had support for the technical coaching side of things at the very beginning. And I was lucky enough to be in a situation where the target audience there was big enough that we need to have really solid business systems to do. So what I mean by that is I just won because I was the only one there. Like I was in the blue ocean. Like it was easy for me to basically make money in that particular place. I didn't even need business systems or support. I was just lucky enough to be in a place where my skill set did that. So those things can happen, and like people like me who are lucky enough to go through that can use that as a reason why you don't need a mentor or you don't need to work with someone. It's no, we are an exception. Okay, we were lucky. Okay, so my thing is very little to do with skill. It's actually do with luck, being in the right place at the right time, and I was able to absolutely crush it. So if you don't want to quit in the first 18 months, there's 3 things that we need to focus on and take away from this. Number 1 is identify the skills that we're deficient in and build them up. All these skills are taught to you in the 0 to 10K course, and it's free. So I highly recommend that you just get on the link. It's in school. The link will be in the comments, etc. Now, structure. I would build a structure. In our courses, we have a structure that we teach you. Now, it's not the only structure. There are many structures that work. Other coaches will recommend other structures. Once you find a structure that works and what you need to do each and every day, you have a much higher likelihood of survival. And support. Reach out to support, whether it's with us or someone else. Having some form of support network there will basically help you get through the hard times that you are going to have and give you someone to bounce ideas. So we need to remember that with this, the fitness industry isn't really, it doesn't just chew us up, it doesn't just spit people out, it actually exposes people who lack skill, structure and support. That's what it does. That's why it has such a high attrition rate, because 8 weeks isn't enough time to build up skill, structure and support, and the schools don't give a damn about you want to leave. So that is why so many personal trainers fail, and this year our goal is to teach more PTs in the industry. We even have 7 coaches working for us in the USM performance program, actually doing coaching, so we are putting our money around where our mouth is. So guys, thank you for listening. Any questions, please let us know, reach out to us, and then like, comment, subscribe to the podcast. We appreciate every single one of you.